Welcome to part 2 of the FAQ series here on the Restart CBD and THC YouTube channel. As always, my name is Cindy Tarabi. I'm one of the co-founders of Restart. And today we're going through some more FAQs, some more frequently asked questions that y'all have, that our customers have, that we find on the internet and we feel like we need to answer. So let's get into the video. Question number 1. Is hemp legal? Short answer is yes. According to the Farm Bill that was passed in 2018, that deemed hemp as a federally legal product, a federally legal crop. However, I would say some states impose restrictions, so always check with your state law. Things are always changing. Here in Texas, we are currently in our 89th legislative session. It happens every odd year, and we're going through some very interesting, maybe you've seen it, maybe you have not, bills that have been proposed that could change the landscape of hemp here in Texas. So always check, your state laws, regulations. As far as Texas goes, as far as Restart CBD and THC goes, we can ship a lot of our products out of state. There is interstate commerce, and you can also come shop with us in store, whether it's CBD, THC, gummies, flower, vape. Right now we have all of it, and we're hoping all of it stays with better regulations in place. I would say the two most talked about products that maybe have some more interesting regulations are definitely smokables and Delta-8 specifically. So if you're interested in those or curious about those, that's something I would Google and research on your own to make sure your state is compliant with what is going on. Question number 2 is, can I travel with CBD? And the answer is yes. When you're traveling domestically within the US, CBD, because hemp is federally legal, you can easily travel with it. For example, personally, I'm outing myself here. I travel with my gummies literally all the time when I'm going to different states, even different kinds that make me more elevated, because it's easy, because I trust my product and I like just having it in the bag. I don't have to go stop at a dispensary, even though I love shopping and supporting local businesses. Sometimes the ease is just there and I like to have them on my person at all times. Okay, it's a security blanket thing. So essentially you can travel with it. I would again check those state rules and regulations because it does vary depending on the type of products you're traveling with. I wouldn't advise traveling with something like flower or vape because there are some gray areas there. But if it's CBD, if it's gummies, even our little shooter flight beverages, I have definitely traveled with those before and have had no problems at the airport. Let's knock on wood on that one. So when you're traveling internationally, that's where it gets a little bit more interesting. Internationally, I personally don't like to travel internationally with that kind of stuff. It just makes me a little bit nervous, but depending on you, depending on how much you want to test the line, depending on what country you're going to, it's going to affect, what you can or cannot travel with. Question number 3 is, what is the difference between full spectrum, broad spectrum, and pure CBD isolate? Full spectrum will start with the full plant profile. Full spectrum, full plant. It contains over 150 plus redundant, but you get the point, cannabinoids. So there is more to this plant than CBD, THC, CBN, CBG, CBC, CBDV, THCV, all of those things. I've only just named a few. So much more to this plant. So a full spectrum product, it contains all of those cannabinoids in various ratios and various percentages, but as always, under 0.3% of Delta-8 THC and much higher levels of CBD. A broad spectrum category, think of it right smack dab in the middle. It contains pretty much everything depending on the formula. You can kind of pick and choose and formulate themselves. Different companies have different ways of doing this. Here at Restart, essentially, we do a broad spectrum with everything except for Delta-9 and Delta-8 THC. So no THC in our broad spectrum at all, but does contain other cannabinoids like CBD, like CBN and CBG. And I also stated it in the first video, but I will restate it again here. Just because you're taking a broad spectrum product with no THC, it could pop up on a drug test because of something called CBN. And if you want to learn more about that, you can go backtrack to our part 1 of this series. Lastly, we have pure CBD isolate. It is pretty much exactly how it sounds. When you look at a pie chart, I guess I'm a very visual person, so I'm going to try to use visuals here. But when you look at a pie chart, if you think of full spectrum, little pie slices make up that entire pie. There's a CBD slice, a THC slice, a Delta-8, whatever. Okay. When you think of pure CBD, almost the entire thing, maybe a small percentage when you're taking in impurities and things like that, it's almost all CBD. When you're getting a really good quality CBD product, we sell a 99+% CBD pure product. It's all CBD. There is no CBN, no flavonoids, no terpenes. It is the purest you can get. A lot of people really like it because you can get really high concentrated versions of it. It's a lot less expensive than some other products out there. And you just want to make sure that you're getting good high quality and a good good oil base. So we use MCT coconut oil as our base for pretty much all of our oils in the store, minus the pet product, which has salmon oil. But the pure CBD plus the MCT coconut oil, it's a very clear product. You're not going to get that weird after flavor if you don't like the flavor of plants. Then pure CBD is probably more palatable for you, but also there's a lot of great benefits to using a really pure, really highly concentrated CBD product. And lastly, question number 4 is going to be, what is Delta-8 THC? Is it legal? Is it safe? That question, honestly, I think everyone has some mixed reviews. From personal experience, from what we provide at Restart, I'm only going to speak on our behalf. I cannot speak for everyone on the market, but essentially Delta-8 is legal in most states. Some states do not. Delta-8 is not legal, but here in Texas right now, it is. It always just really comes down to the quality of that product. So just like you're shopping for THC, just like you're shopping for CBD, Delta-8, the quality of it absolutely matters. There is a big argument, I guess, on the differences between synthetic and synthesized versions of this. Now, we at Restart believe that synthesized versions of cannabis plants are welcome because you're taking the plant product and you're synthesizing it, whether it's turning it into more CBD, more CBG, Delta-8, Delta-9, what have you. That happens a lot in regular pharmaceutical markets, is where you're synthesizing stuff from real stuff, for lack of better terms. What you want to be on the lookout for and what causes a lot of adverse side effects, especially when it comes to Delta-8, is the synthetic form of it. Now, synthetic means that that product was produced in a lab, don't know where it came from, don't know the quality of it. And a lot of people report having headaches afterward, feeling a little lethargic afterwards, and just is not the feeling that they're looking for. But when you have a really good quality Delta-8, you don't really feel those kinds of effects. I've personally taken our Delta-8 before, and the effects that I feel are not what I've heard horror stories about, if that gives you any insight at all. Something else to consider with Delta-8 is it is half as potent as Delta-9 as its counterpart. So when you go to a legal state, when you even go into Restart, if you're looking at Delta-9 THC, that is what it's like the OG. It's what you're used to when you're using edibles and flower. Delta-8, if you think of the 9th carbon atom is in Delta-9, the double bond, the 8th carbon double bond is on the 8th carbon atom. I hope I said that correctly. Scientists, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I'm understanding. Essentially, it's a THC, it's the same chemical structure. Double bond is just on a different carbon atom, 8 versus 9, if that's the best way to put it. So because of that, it actually has half the potency. So if we're used to, let's say, a 10 milligram Delta-9 edible, doubling that to a 20 milligram is going to give you more of like the same feeling. From personal experience as well, though, Delta-8 for me, it tends to be more of a body high, a body relaxation. So you're someone who has muscle aches, pains, you want to fall asleep at night, you really can't, you just want to feel heavy. A lot of people really, really like Delta-8 for that. Delta-9 is more of your tried and true. I would call it more of like a hybrid, maybe even like a sativa experience if you want to add terminology to it. But it totally depends on, again, the quality, your body's biochemistry, and just what you take to best. So I always tell people, start where you feel comfortable, start low, and figure out what's best for you. I think that's all for part 2. Definitely go watch part number 1. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave them in either of the videos. I'm happy to answer them in another video. But I really hope that this video was educational, answer some of your questions, and thank you, appreciate you for watching. As always, make sure to follow us on Instagram at Restart CBD, where we're much more active on the daily basis. If you haven't already, we really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel, as it supports us and helps us honestly push me to make more of these videos, to make sure I'm giving you what you want, what you need. You know what I mean? So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Give it a thumbs up and have a great day. Bye, y'all.